Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, October 20th, 2025. We have baseball playoffs, league championship series. We have a game 7 tonight. NFL recap yesterday's games. We have 2 games tonight. College football, NHL, soccer, NASCAR, news and notes, and best bet. We'll begin with the playoffs. We'll recap the games from yesterday and look ahead to... I should say the games from the weekend. Look ahead to tonight's Game 7. All right, Friday night, ALCS Game 5. Mariners over the Blue Jays 6-2 to take a 3-2 series lead. And NLCS Game 4, the Dodgers over the Brewers 5-1 as they sweep Milwaukee and are onto the World Series for the second consecutive year. And then last night, the Blue Jays beat the Mariners 6-2 to force a Game 7 right back at home tonight. 8 o'clock on Fox, Mariners-Jays. Game 7, Shane Bieber, George Kirby. I think this is a wide open game. And Game 7s are always up for grabs, as we know. I'm just trying to pull up FanDuel so we can get the lines here. Via George Kirby, Shane Bieber. Oh, the games haven't been exactly lights out in the playoffs. And it's going to be interesting tonight. Somebody's going to their first World Series in a very long time. The question is, who? And it looks like we're going to give bets out on ESPN Bet today instead of FanDuel, which is unfortunate because FanDuel don't want to work. And is that related to Amazon? We don't know. All right, so Jays minus 135, Mariners plus 115, over under 7.5, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Mariners plus 1.5 is minus 180, Jays minus 1.5 plus 150. Under. Game 7 unders rue the day. I know the pitchers in this game are not very good in terms of playoff performance. They're not your brand names, but just the Game 7 unders nerves. Guys striking out on balls, and we're going to see a lot of those today. That's what happens in a Game 7 with 2 inexperienced teams, so I'm going to go under. I don't feel great about it, but if you got a point who wins, I said Seattle, but why hasn't Brian Wu pitched? Like, that guy's so important to them, and you're just, I know the idiots would say, like, oh, he's a... So it looks like, he did pitch in Game 5, which I missed. He's available out of the bullpen. Yeah, he pitched out of the bullpen the other day in Game 5. He's available out of the pen. I think the Mariners win. All right, that's good. At least we know that he's around. All right, now we'll move on to football. It was a crazy NFL Sunday, to say the least. We'll go over the games, and we will look ahead to Monday night. All right, Sunday in London, Rams over the Jags, 35-7. Chiefs over the Raiders, 31-0. Browns over the Dolphins, 31-6. Pats over the Titans, 31-13. Panthers over the Jets, 13-6. Bears over the Saints, 26-14. Eagles over the Vikings, 28-22. Colts over the Chargers, 38-24. Broncos over the Giants, 33-31. An epic comeback by Denver. And just an absolute brutal collapse by the New York Football Giants. Packers over the Cardinals, 27-23. Cowboys over the Commanders, 44-22. And the 49ers over the Falcons, 20-10. on Sunday Night Football. 2 games tonight, 7 o'clock, ABC and ESPN, Bucks Lions. This is going to be Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on the call. This is the better of the 2 games. Although both games are really good. Okay, projections time. I only have the Lions by a half, total 54 in the 10th, and that is because I know both teams have a lot of injuries, but the Lions ones cancel out the majority of the Bucks ones. And it's 6.5, totals 53.5. That's crazy. Give me the Buccaneers plus the 6.5. That's way too many points. Everybody and their mother loves the Lions. And I think they're ignoring the fact that Brian Branch is suspended and Kirby Joseph's hurt. Then 10 o'clock on ESPN, Chris Fowler, Louis Riddick and company, Texans, Seahawks. My line, Seahawks 7.5, total 40.5, and it is 3.5 and 41.5. I'm going to lay the 3.5 with Seattle. This is the last pick of Fab 5. I love Seattle in this spot. They're the better team. They're home. Sam Darnold's playing better than CJ Stroud, so I'm laying the 3.5 with Seattle against Houston. Okay, now move on to college football. We'll go over the results from the weekend. Get to that really quickly. We do have games tomorrow, by the way. Both in Conference USA again, but we'll get to that on tomorrow's show. Friday, Louisville upsets number 2 Miami 24-21. Nebraska beats Minnesota 24-6, or Minnesota beats Nebraska 24-6. Utah State over San Jose State 30-25. Cal over UNC 21-18. All right, Saturday, number 1 Ohio over Wisconsin 34-0. Number 3 Indiana over Michigan State 38-13. Number 4 Texas A&M over Arkansas 45-42. Number 9 Georgia over number 5 Ole Miss 43-35. Number 6 Alabama over number 11 Tennessee 37-20. Arizona State upsets number 7 Texas Tech 26-22. Number 8 Oregon over Rutgers 56-10. Number 17 Vanderbilt over number 10 LSU 31-24. Number 12 Georgia Tech over Duke 27-18. Number 13 Notre Dame over number 20 USC 34-24. Number 14 Oklahoma over South Carolina 26-7. Number 15 BYU over number 23 Utah 24-21. Number 16 Missouri over Auburn 23-17 in double overtime. Number 18 Virginia over Washington State 22-20. Number 19 USF over Florida Atlantic 48-13. Number 21 Texas over Kentucky 16-13 in overtime. UAB upsets number 22 Memphis 31-24. Number 24 Cincinnati over Oklahoma State 49-17. Michigan over Washington 24-7. UConn over BC 38-23. Houston over Arizona 31-28. TCU over Baylor 42-36. Tulane over Army 24-17. Central Michigan over Bowling Green 27-6. Miami of Ohio over Eastern Michigan 44-30. UCF over West Virginia 45-13. Toledo over Kent State 45-10. Buffalo over UMass 28-21. Northwestern over Purdue 19-0. Troy over Yale Monroe 37-14. SMU over Clemson 35-24. Air Force over Wyoming 24-21. Boise State over UNLV 56-31. Coastal Carolina over App State 45-37. James Madison over Old Dominion 63-27. Marshall over Texas State 40-37 in double overtime. Temple over Charlotte 49-13. Ball State over Akron 42-28. Ohio over Northern Illinois 48-21. North Texas over UTSA 55-17. Florida over Mississippi State 23-21. Southern Miss over Lafayette 22-10. Iowa over Penn State 25-24. UCLA over Maryland 20-17. Hawaii over Colorado State 31-19. Georgia Southern over Georgia State 41-34 or 24. Pitt over Syracuse 30-13. Mexico over Nevada 24-22. Oregon State over Lafayette 45-13. Stanford over Florida State 20-13. So this was one of my worst weeks of betting in a while. And the Fab Five stunk in college, and it wasn't very good in the NFL. I mean, it was okay in the NFL. It was a lot worse in college. All right, now move on to the NHL. We'll go over the results from the weekend, and we will look ahead to tonight's games. Friday, Red Wings over the Lightning 2-1 in OT. Caps over the Wild 5-1. Canucks over the Blackhawks 3-2 shootout. Mammoth over the Sharks 6-3. Saturday, Sabres over the Panthers 3-0. Isles over the Sens 5-4. Devils over the Oilers 5-3. Kraken over the Maple Leafs 4-3 in OT. Flyers over the Wild 2-1 in OT. Blue Jackets over the Lightning 3-2. Rangers over the Habs 4-3. Blues over the Stars 3-1. Jets over the Preds 4-1. Avs over the Bruins 4-1. Canes over the Kings 4-3 in OT. Golden Knights over the Flames 6-1. Pens over the Sharks 3-0. Sunday, Canucks over the Caps 4-3. Red Wings over the Oilers 4-2. Blackhawks over the Ducks 2-1 OT. Mammoth over the Bruins 3-2. All right, a lot of games tonight. 7 o'clock. You have on NHL Network, you have the Wild against the Rangers from the Garden. The Rangers better fucking score a goal at home. I swear to freaking God. And they're minus 145 favorites. The Wild are plus 125 over under 5.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Wild plus 1.5 is minus 15. Rangers minus 1.5 plus 170. As long as Igor Shesterkin's in net, it's an under. Regardless of the scoreless at home thing. So I'm going to go with the under. And that's, like I said, a bet on Shesterkin. Kraken Flyers. Flyers minus 135. Kraken plus 115. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 120. Unders even money. Kraken plus 1.5 is minus 135. Flyers minus 1.5 plus 180. I like the Kraken. As a road, they haven't lost in regulation yet, and I don't love this Flyers team, so I'm going to take the Kraken at plus 115. 7:30, Sabres Habs. Habs minus 150, Sabres plus 130, over under 6.5, overs plus 110, unders minus 130. Sabres plus 1.5 is minus 190, Habs minus 1.5 plus 160. I like the over in this game at plus money. 9:30, Jets Flames. Jets minus 150, Flames plus 130, over under 5.5, overs minus 120, unders even money. Jets minus 1.5 is plus 165. Flames plus 1.5 is minus 200. I'm going to go with the under 5.5. That's a hella buck bet. And last but not least, 10 o'clock, Hurricanes Golden Knights. Great game. Vegas minus 115. Carolina minus 105, over under 6.5. Overs minus, or plus 110, unders minus 130. Canes plus 1.5 is minus 275. Vegas minus 1.5 is plus 200. I like Vegas at home minus 115. They're the better team, in my opinion. Canes do to lose, so I like the Vegas at minus 115. Okay. Now move on to soccer. We'll go over all the results from the weekend and look ahead to everything today. We'll begin with Friday. La Liga. Espanyol over Real Oviedo 2-0. German Bundesliga, FC Union Berlin over Borussia 3-1. Women's League, North Carolina over Bay FC 4-1. In Seattle over Utah 2-1. Liga MX, Puebla over Tijuana 4-3. Atletico over Atlas 2-0. And Tigres over Necaxa 5-3. French League, PSG Strasbourg 3-3 draw. ELC Middlesbrough over Ipswich 2-1. The Pro League, Al Faya Al Ittihad 1-1 draw. Al Khalid over Al Najma 5-1. Al Ali over Al Shabab. That was a 1-1 draw. USL Championship, Lexington Sacramento 2-2 draw. League 1, Chattanooga over Charlotte 2-1, and AV Alta over Richmond 2-0. All right, the 18th, that was Saturday. Premier League, Chelsea over Nottingham 3-0. Brighton Hove over Newcastle 2-1. Burnley over Leeds 2-0. Crystal Palace AFC 3-3 draw. Man City over Everton 2-0. Sunderland over Wolverhampton 2-0. Arsenal over Fulham 1-0. La Liga, Mallorca over Sevilla 3-1. Barcelona over Girona 2-1. Villarreal Real Betis 2-2 draw. Atletico Madrid over Osasuna 1-0. Bundesliga, Heidenheim, Bremen 2-2 draw. Cologne, Augsburg 1-1 draw. Bayern Leverkusen over Mainz 4-3. RP Leipzig over Hamburg 2-1. FVV Stuttgart over VfL Wolfsburg 3-0. Bayern over Borussia 2-1. MLS. This obviously was decision day. Atlanta DC 1-1 draw. Charlotte over Philly 2-0. Columbus over Red Bulls 3-1. Cincy over Montreal 3-0. Inter Miami over Nashville 5-2. Chicago New England 2-2 draw. Seattle over NYCFC 2-1. Toronto over Orlando 4-2. Colorado LAFC 2-2 draw. Galaxy over Minnesota 2-1. San Diego over Portland 4-0. San Jose over Austin 2-1. KC Houston 0-0 draw. St. Louis Salt Lake 2-2 draw. Dallas over Vancouver 2-1. Women's League, Orlando over Washington 3-0. Houston over KC 1-0. San Diego over Chicago 6-1. Liga MX, FC Juarez Pachuca 2-2 draw. Santos over Leon 2-0. Toluca over Carretera 4-0. Monterrey Unam 1-1 draw. Guadalajara over Mazatlan 2-0. Cruz Azul over America 2-1. Serie A, Lecce Sassuolo 0-0 draw. Pisa Verona 0-0 draw. Torino over Napoli 1-0. Inter over AS Roma 1-0. League 1, Nice over Lyon 3-2. Angers Monaco 1-1 draw. Marseille over Le Havre 6-2. ELC, Oxford over Derby County 1-0. Millwall over Rangers 2-1. Southampton Swansea 0-0 draw. Hull over Birmingham 3-2. Charlton over Sheffield Wednesday 2-1. Coventry over Blackburn 2-0. Bristol City over Norwich City 1-0. Sheffield United over Watford 1-0. Stoke City over Wrexham 1-0. West Brom over Preston 2-1. Leicester Portsmouth 1-1 draw. Eredivisie, NECFC 23 draw. FC Utrecht over FC Volendam 3-1. PSV over Goa Eagles 2-1. AZ Alkmaar over Ajax 2-0. NAC PEC Zwolle 2-2 draw. The Pro League, Al Hilal over Al Ettifaq 5-0. Al Hazem over Al Akdod 2-1. Al Nasser over Al Fateh 5-1. Premiership, Hibernian over Livingston 4-0. Falkirk over Motherwell 2-1. Rangers Dundee 2-2 draw. Aberdeen over St. Mirren 1-0. And Hearts over Kilmarnock 3-0. Sunday, Premier League, Aston Villa over Tottenham 2-1. Man United over Liverpool 2-1. La Liga, Elche Athletic 0-0 draw. Celta Vigo Real Sociedad 1-1 draw. Real Valenciano over Levante 3-0. And Real Madrid over Getafe 1-0. Bundesliga, FC Freiburg and Eintracht 2-2 draw. Hoffenheim over St. Pauli 3-0. Women's League, Gotham Louisville 2-2 draw. Portland over Angel City 2-0. Serie A, Como over Juventus 2-0. Bologna over Cagliari 2-0. Genoa Parma 0-0 draw. Atalanta Lazio 0-0 draw. AC Milan over Fiorentina 2-1. French League 1, Lens over Paris FC 2-1. Lorient Brest 3-3 draw. Stade AJ Auxerre 2-2 draw. Toulouse over Metz 4-0. Lille over Nantes 2-0. Dutch Eredivisie, Heerenveen over Telstar 3-2. Excelsior over Fortuna 1-0. Sparta over FC Groningen 2-0. Feyenoord over Heracles 7-0. The Pro League, Al Khalij over Al Raida 4-1. Al Toon over Damak 6-1. And Al Kadesh over Neom SC 3-1. In the Premiership, Dundee over Celtic 2-0. We have Champions League tomorrow. That's good to know. All right, so today, we'll start with Serie A, 2:45. Cremonese and Udinese. So Udinese plus 1-3, Cremonese plus 125, draw plus 210. I'm going to go with Udinese on the road at plus 130. Premier League, 3 o'clock, West Ham Brentford. West Ham plus 175, Brentford plus 150, draw plus 225. I'm going to go with the draw plus 225. La Liga, Alaves Valencia. Alaves plus 120, Valencia plus 250. And plus 210 is the draw. I'm going to go with Alaves at plus 120. There's not really much soccer the rest of the day, but we have to touch on two Champions League games because they're going to start before we start recording tomorrow. 2:45 Barcelona and Olympiacos. So Barcelona's minus 600, Olympiacos is 10-1, the draw is 6-1. We're going to do over 3.5 goals minus 105. And then also at 12:45 FC Kairat and Paphos. Kairat's plus 190, Paphos plus 150, draw plus 220. I'm going to go with the draw here at plus 220. All right, so there you have it for soccer. Now move on to NASCAR from the weekend. We'll go over the results and so trucks was first. That was Friday afternoon. Your winner, Gio Ruggiero. Second, Corey Heim. Third, Ty Majeski. Fourth, Dawson Sutton. Fifth, Lane Riggs. Sixth, Tanner Ankrum. Seventh, Matt Crafton. Eighth, Corey LaJoy. Ninth, Raja Caruth. 10th, Caden Honeycutt. The rest, Chris Wright, Tanner Gray, J.J. Yealy, Connor Mozak, Spencer Boyd, Ben Rhodes, Andres Perez de Lara, Nathan Bird, Matt Mills, Frankie Muniz, Jack Wood, Chandler Smith, Luke Fenhaus, Josh Rume, Greg Van Oltz, Parker Kligerman, Tyler Tomasi, Brett Holmes, Jake Garcia, Jason White, Bailey Curry, Norm Benning, Tony Breedinger, Daniel Hemrick, Caleb Costner, and Grant Effinger. Xfinity from Talladega was Saturday. Your winner, Austin Hill. Second, Connor Kvapel. Third, Justin Algier. Fourth, Christian X. Fifth, Cesar Bassarella. Sixth, Blaine Perkins. Seventh, Parker Retzlaff. Eighth, Leyland Honeyman. Ninth, Tammy Smith. 10th, Jesse Love. The rest, Nick Leitz, Garrett Smithley, Harrison Burton, Josh Williams, Kyle Sieg, Joey Gase, Jeb Burton, David Starr, Brennan Poole, Nick Sanchez, Cody Ware, Mason Mazzeo, Connor Zilch, Eric Almirola, Daniel Dye, Brandon Jones, Ryan Ellis, Connor Mozak, Dean Thompson, William Salich, Tanner Gray, Jordan Anderson, Anthony Alfredo, Sheldon Creed, Ryan Sieg, Brendan Queen, Jeremy Clements, and Sam Meyer. And the Cup Series yesterday from Talladega. Your winner, Chase Briscoe. Second, Todd Gilliland. Third, Ty Gibbs. Fourth, Bubba Wallace. Fifth, Cole Custer. Sixth, Carson Osvar. Seventh, Tyler Riddick. Eighth, Chris Bell. Ninth, Zane Smith. 10th, Brad Kozlowski. The rest, Shane Van Gisbergen, Daniel Suarez, Ross Chastain, John Hunter Nemechek, Ryan Priest, Joey Logano, Michael McDowell, Casey Mears, Kyle Busch, Ty Dillon, Anthony Alfredo, Austin Hill, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, William Byron, Kyle Larson, Austin Dillon, BJ McLeod, Alex Bowman, Chris Boucher, Cody Ware, Riley Herbst, Josh Berry, Austin Cindric, Eric Jones, Noah Graxon, AJ Allmendinger, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Justin Haley, and Chase Elliott. All right, so 2 Cup Series races left, 2 Xfinity races left, and 2 Truck Series races left. So it's Martinsville, then Phoenix for all three leagues the last 2 weeks of the year. All right, to news and notes. We have a lot of news and notes to get to. Some stuff happened over the weekend, as it always does. So, former Yankees prospect and Mariners player Jesus Montero passes away at the age of 35. That's sad. He had a cup of coffee with the Yankees, highly touted prospect. I think he had a 3-homer game or a 2-homer game in 2011, and the Yankees went and traded him to Seattle for Michael Pineda. And then Seattle thought he was going to be their franchise catcher. Turned out not meant to be. The Yankees must have saw something that other teams didn't see. And then Pineda was very erratic with the Yankees. Showed Cy Young flashes. And he was just very erratic, like I said, Michael Pineda. But that's very sad news that Jesus has passed on. Doug Martin also passed away, the former Buccaneers running back. 6 years with the Bucs, 2 Pro Bowlers, great rookie season in 2012. Played for Greg Schiano. And that's also really sad. And then the Broncos honored Demaryius Thomas on Sunday against the Giants. Former wide receiver that passed away last year or the year before. I don't remember when. But he was a very good wide receiver for the Broncos in the Peyton Manning era and even the Tebow era. Tua got benched in the fourth quarter for Quinn Ewers, which was interesting. And then Quinn Ewers was picked over Zach Wilson as their QB too, which was crazy. The NBA season starts tomorrow night, so we'll do the prediction show tonight. Travis Hunter finally scored a touchdown. Kevin Durant got extended by the Rockets to years $90 million. There's a lot of talks whether that was going to get done or not. And, Justin Fields also got benched for Tyrod Taylor. The Blazers give Shaedon Sharpe a rookie contract extension, 4 years, $90 million. And then Kamara got $82 million for 4 years with the Blazers. Russell Westbrook won't retire after 2026 as he has no plans to end his career after signing with the Kings. Kevin Durant chose to sacrifice money as he understood he wouldn't get max deal when joining the Rockets. And then with the extension, Durant passes LeBron for most career earnings in NBA history, which is crazy. Aaron Glenn undecided who will be QB1 against the Bengals. I think it's going to be Tyrod Taylor. It looks like Mike McDaniel's not getting fired after losing 31-6 against the Browns. And he also says, he teases new changes. He says some players have routinely negatively impacted the team. Does that mean Tua? A lot of people thought that was Tyreek Hill, and then he got hurt. And then Fields had talked about his benching as he says he's not taking anything personal amid 0-6 record. Shouldn't take anything personal. He's been terrible all season, and he's the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. I mean, I hate to say this, but it's either him or, dare I say, Cam Ward. But the Cam Ward, I think, is more of the team, though. The Packers plane had issues yesterday. They departed late for Arizona because of mechanical problem. That's not good. They almost lost that game, too. And if they lost that game, that would have been a built-in excuse, which you know how I feel about that. And the Titans are to simplify their offense as Cam Ward expected to get easier playbook moving forward. A fan is selling the Shohei Ohtani third home run ball from the 3-homer game the other day as that's a piece of MLB history. And it's going to be available for a price. Saints running back Kendrick Miller out for the year with the torn ACL. That's brutal for New Orleans. Bryce Young likely out week 8 with a high ankle sprain. He stunk in that Jets game, but it does make sense because he sprained his ankle. And I think he was hurt that whole game. Jaden Daniels exited the game with a leg injury. That guy's always freaking hurt. Brock Bowers likely back week 9. Not expected to play, or didn't play the other day, but they have a bye this week coming up, so he looks like he'll be back week 9. JJ McCarthy likely out week 8, expected or hopeful to be back week 9 against the Lions. There's some talk that was a soft benching. I disagree. Because I think the Vikings are a smart organization, and I do think he was hurt in that Atlanta game. And I think it'd be premature to bench somebody 2 games, like a de facto redshirt player, 2 games after a season. Max Crosby left the game yesterday due to knee and back injuries. Darren Waller had a pectoral injury. That guy's hurt all the time. Wow. Florida fired Billy Napier yesterday in spite of a win. Who does that in the middle of the season? Fires a coach after a freaking win. I mean, I've seen teams do that in college football before. But that was like the last game of the season. I've seen a lot of teams do that. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Giants won Tom Coughlin's last game, and then they fired him after the game. You've seen that before. But not in the middle of the season. It's usually the last game of the year when your fate is decided. So that's crazy. They won the game and they still fired Billy Napier. We had 22 and 23 over 4 seasons, and the team owes him $21 million. Mike Norvell is untouchable despite 4 straight losses. Buyout is $59 million. That team was the biggest fraud. The biggest WTF result of the season was them beating Alabama in week 1. Because they've been garbage since they beat Bama, and meanwhile, Bama hasn't lost since. And they're getting better every week. And Colorado State fired Jay Norvell after a 2-5 start. The Dodgers are eyeing Kyle Tucker in free agency. Of fucking course they are. They're in the World Series and there's already free agency rumors about them. Of course they're eyeing Kyle Tucker because they want every big name on the planet. And then Poulos and the LA Angels end talks as Poulos is still in the running for 2 other jobs. Baltimore, and we don't know the other one. Who knows? Maybe San Francisco. I mean, they didn't hire anybody yet. Texas, nobody's hired anyone yet. I think people are looking at coaches that were they're coaching in the playoffs now, or maybe they're waiting on Aaron Boone if he gets fired, or somebody else if they get fired. But yeah, there's a reason they're waiting. That's very weird. But I don't think Boone's getting fired because they had their press conference the other day and he was involved. It looked like he was coming back. Alrighty. Last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. There's a couple I liked. Well, I should say brought to you by ESPN Bet, but I'm gonna see if FanDuel is back up. It looks like it's not. So hockey's a good place to go. I really love the under in Jets Flames. Under 5.5. This is, like I said, it's a Connor Hellebuck bet, and the Flames offense stinks. I know the Rangers Wild under's a good one too, but this one's even better because the Flames offense stinks. So under 5.5, even money between the Jets and the Flames for my best bet of the day. So there you have it for the show, and I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. Look at everything tomorrow, and then tonight I'll be back with the NBA predictions. Have a good one, everyone.